Hello, everyone. My name is Iris Yim. I am the editor of this YouTube channel. Today, we have a special guest, Yu Shu. Yu Shu is a Denver-based artist originally from China. She initially trained as a nurse and decided to switch careers. She put herself through art school and decided to go to Taipei to study with artist Yim Mau-Kun, my father. And I met her in Taipei. And recently, I came across an article in the Wall Street Journal, and I saw a picture of Yu Shu in that article, and I thought, wow, that's my friend. Yu Shu struck me as not only a very talented, hardworking artist, but also very business savvy. So I invited her to share with us her experiences and perspectives. Welcome, Yu Shu.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Can you share a little about your journey from China to the US? What brought you here, and what were those early years like?
Okay, absolutely. Um, so being in United States has always been my childhood dream. The f Initially, I had that idea when I was a 5 year old. My whole family thought I was crazy, especially at such a young age. Um, but then it became true. Then I became U.S. citizen. Yeah, and I met my ex-husband in Chengdu. We both were students, and through marriage, I came to this country. Yeah,
And what year did you come to the US?
2009.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what were those early years like? And how did you overcome language barrier? How do you adapt to a very new environment, a new country?
Okay, so it was very challenging be to move from China to United States. First of all, I didn't speak any English. I didn't know about the culture. I knew myself when landed in Los Angeles International Airport. I standing at the gate. I didn't know which direction to go to. I brought my electronic translator. I thought about, well, if I don't understand language, I would just type the words in the translator and then problem solved. And so much information was flying by. Like there's no way I could just start typing them. I was in shock for a few seconds. And I was like, I know which way to go. Follow that man. He was on my airplane. So that's how I got to, get through the custom. Just eventually I went to school because I want to learn English and I want to be able to adapt the new country and culture, and then learn to how to drive. Got a GED in this country, then start applying to school, then took a lot of prerequisites, then got accepted into nursing school with a 4.0 GPA.
Wow, congratulations. Very impressive. So, when we met in Taipei, you told me that you initially trained as a nurse. So, tell me what was that about like, and why did you decide to pursue a career in nursing?
So I I never wanted to be a nurse. It was my ex-husband. He forced me to go to nursing school. When I told him I want to go to school to study, he said, "What would you like to study?" I said, "I want to study in fine art or go to a dance school. I want to be a ballerina." Then he said, I'm not gonna let you go to school for something so useless. You can't even get a job. You're either going to school to be a nurse or you're gonna be a waitress. And I was in my early 20s. I was still a young, soft, in a way kind of submissive. So I just went with him. And from time to time, if I tell him I'm not happy with certain things, he would tell me, if you're not happy, you can always go back to China to threaten me. Um, so after we separated, um, then I was still in nursing school. I was so miserable. I get a 3 to 4 hour sleep at night and half hour lunch break. Then I have internship. I'll be getting up all my classmates, we all get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to catch up with the homework. It was really stressful, and I didn't even like it. It had no meaning to me. I talked to my professor about it. Her and I were friends, and she convinced me. She said, if this is something you don't like, you are not passionate about, you should quit. I said, I hate to be a quitter. I'm just like halfway and just be done with it. I said, what a waste of my time and money. My professor said, no, Sue, you are making a change. Change is different than quitting. So I took her advice and I quit nursing school.
And
Yeah.
and then what happened? So you quit nursing school
Um,
without financial support, right?
yeah, I
And how did you put yourself through art school? How did you make
I
change?
Yeah, so um, during that time, I quit my nursing school, and also before that, it was my ex-husband and I, and we separated, and he told me, if I want him to divorce me, I cannot even ask him a dime as my alimony. I said to him, I'm fine. I just want my freedom. It was absolutely scary because I had no friends, no family, no money, barely speak the language. All I had was a leased Honda Civic and a $4,000 as my student loan. I was negative. I was like negative about 20,000 or close to be 30,000 USD. Um, yeah, like, I was so scary, but deep down there, even though I didn't have too much life experience, but I knew I can achieve so much more. So I got jobs for sure, being a waitress and being a nanny. Then eventually I got my real estate license. I became a
Wow.
realtor, selling properties, and I flip properties, I invest. And then eventually, well, the flipping property part, dealing with the contractors are very hard. And so eventually I switched to investing stocks and options. And now I still trading stocks and I have professional money manager to manage my portfolio.
Wow, very impressed.
Well, you know what? I have to say women are incredibly strong. Like we would never know how strong, what our full potential is until we really put in the test. And we just have to believe in ourselves. Sometimes you feel like the whole world already gave up on you, but you know what? We cannot give up on ourselves.
Uh, Thank you for that advice. Please tell me a little bit about the how you started your art journey. Where did you go to art school and what was that like?
Yeah, actually, 2017 was my first time went to art museum. Um, I was on my solo trip, 3 months solo trip around the world. And by the time it was July, it was my first time visit the Vatican City. I was so impressed by Michelangelo and Raphael's work. When I saw their work, I couldn't stop crying. It was just so emotional to me because those people dedicate their entire life to something they truly believe and passionate about. And they created such powerful pieces. Even 500 years later, people from all over the world still going there to be inspired, to admire their work and dedication. Now I was like, I want to be somebody like them. I want to create history. And not so I started doing art just as a hobby, not until pandemic. That gave me a kick. Um, so I was like, oh my gosh, life is too short. Everything is possible. You know what? I have to do it now, take the action. So I quit my job and start going to art school in Denver, Colorado. It's called Real Academy of Art. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's how I got my fundamentals, the basic stuff, learn how to do the blocking, drawings and some paintings.
I see.
And then, so I was there for 3.5 years. Then one day I found Yim Mau-Kun's YouTube video. I was like, I agree with what he said. He seems to be really good. Let me look him up. So I started doing more research on him. His work popped up. I saw his drawing and paintings. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so impressive. I was like, I have to visit him. I look up at his website. Then I reach out to the assistant right away. If teacher is still teaching, the next day I got the reply. It says teacher is still teaching. I was like, I gotta go. So the same day, I booked my airplane tickets to
Wow.
Taiwan. I'm like, this is it. I don't need to be concerned. Taiwan is this place. So I was there for less than 2 weeks. So I took teacher's class for 4 days, 4-day course.
Mhm.
Uh, the third day, when I was in studio, I was like, I'm moving to Taiwan.
Already?
Yes. The third day, I was like, I'm moving to Taiwan. This is it. So last year, March, I got rid of my studio here in Denver and I got rid of my apartment and I just moved and I started my sculpture business at the same time and I finished 3 sculptures within like 3 months plus a website, LLC, and the whole thing. Then I moved to Taiwan.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what made you decide to move to Taiwan?
Teacher. Yeah, I saw teacher's work. I fell in love with his work, and I know he has the ability to help me to achieve where I want to be in the art world. And you know what? I've been there for um, a year now. Yeah, absolutely worth it. There's no way I would question about my decision. It was the best move. And in fact, I'm going back to Taiwan this July and I need more teachers training.
Okay. Well, I always tell people that it is a rare opportunity. I mean, the timing is very important because my father, he is aging. He is 83 this year. So there's only a very limited time left that he will be able to teach. And we're
Yeah,
all very grateful that he is still teaching weekly, right? But the reality is that he is aging. Right.
yeah. Like, so it makes it even more precious than ever. Like, to me, this is such a rare opportunity once in a lifetime. I feel like I just won a lottery ticket. Wow, here is a true master still teaching, passing his knowledge to fellow artists. I have to take advantage of that. And I I appreciate every minute I have with Yim Mau-Kun. And yeah, absolutely. I deeply grateful for this experience and sometimes deeply grateful for my life experience brought me to this. So it makes everything even more precious.
Right. Thank you. Okay, so what was it like to immerse yourself in such an intense classical training environment in the Taipei studio?
Um, so I definitely felt the pressure and some stress because I know I want to be good. And at the same time, everyone is so good. There's so many talented artists, especially under teachers' guidance. I was like, wow, I'm the one of the worst in the rooms.
Oh, I'm sure that's not the
Like,
the truth.
because I mean I was in the environment that I pushed myself even harder, asking myself questions, ask teacher questions, why, uh, what is his approach, and really trying to understand it so I can thrive. Yeah, and you know the reason I quit school in Denver and moved to Taiwan because I was the best in that school and I wasn't content anymore. But teacher has taught me so much. Yeah. And at the same time, Be in the studio, just watching teacher, his attitude toward to art, um, it's inspirational. He's in his 80s, but once as soon as he sat down on that chair, he does not move. And he's so passionate, just so passionate. It makes me feel, wow, I need to become more passionate like him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what lessons from those Taipei sections have stayed with you the most?
Um, I love and appreciate how teacher always emphasize about what is visual art and don't be so literal and teacher's own term, the turtle hair, and it stuck into my head and it's going to be with me for the rest of my life. The way how I was taught to create art doesn't matter in drawing or paintings, is to make it exact and identical. But teachers is that when you're doing this, making exact identical, that's almost like creating turtle hair. I asked teacher, I said, what's turtle hair? He said, exactly. Turtle doesn't have hair. So taught me stop being so literal. That's not a high level of artistic language.
Mhm.
He truly elevated me in art, how to appreciate art and what is your higher level of art.
Okay. All right. So I want to explain a little bit to the audience who may not be familiar with that expression. So the gui mao or the literal translation turtle hair is a Taiwanese term referring to um someone being obsessive obsessively meticulous about details. So it's referring to photorealistic style painting or drawing.
Yeah, yeah. So now after being with teacher for so long, now I see what teacher was talking about, and same time, I'm started creating artwork. I actually love much more.
So you enjoy the process more because
Yes,
you're
yes.
not fixated on um,
Mhm.
the little details
Yes,
and more focusing on your own expression of what you
yes, that's very
see and
important.
how you feel.
And also, I'm more liberated instead before just I box myself in like, the tiny details, even though I didn't truly like it. And now I'm free. So I
Okay.
feel more free to express myself in much better approach.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And I understand that you have some pictures to show us.
Yes, absolutely. Give me 1 second. Okay. So right here is the first photo. That was 2000. I think that was in March.
Last
Teacher
year.
was doing has he was having his solo exhibition, mostly small work. And uh here's me with teacher. I got him a bouquet of flowers, and
Oh, how
I
sweet.
felt truly grateful I was be able to be there. This is a portrait drawing of my boyfriend. Yeah, he was super honored that he could be this model. And it's me and teacher. In March, we met. I told him I was moving to Taiwan. But this is during the Chinese New Year. Yeah, in Taiwan, everybody we all went over there to Teachers Place studio to have this potluck together.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, and yeah, teacher assistant.
That's the Lunar New Year's celebration, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's this New Year. Yeah, just not too long ago, and it's
Oh,
me.
I see. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's me and teacher, and he was always he's always educating us about art. And so even during the potluck, he still grab the books and talking to us about art. And right here, I was super honored that I had the opportunity to collect one piece of teacher's painting, small painting. And then right here, I was on the floor and took a photo with this drawing of teachers. He always telling there's so much story just in this one piece. How he talks about how he uses this drawing is all about using the eraser to pick up and and to get the form of white in the shirts. Yeah. And here's some drawings I did last time.
Wow, you were
Studio.
very productive.
Yeah. And I was like, I haven't done much. Then I put them together. I was like, oh, you know what? I think I've done some. Yeah, I love figurative drawings. And this is a closer look for the this piece. And got this one done in teacher's studio. It was a live portrait. And I try to use teacher's way and give them more 笔触, a brushwork
Mhm,
texture, which I really, really love about teacher's work. And some of the figurative drawing I did on my own.
mhm,
This is in teacher's studio, live model. Um, this is when I was studying on the cast. This one done by last year. And in studio, then I did on my own, Morgan Freeman
mhm.
and Robert De Niro. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, I mentioned earlier that I saw you in the Wall Street Journal. Let's
Okay.
talk about that experience. So, what
Yeah.
inspired you to attend uh, the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting in Omaha, a place
So,
known more for finance than fine art?
okay. So, I told you before I quit my job, I started to invest in real estate and stocks and options. I have been a shareholder for over 11 years of Berkshire Hathaway. So I was there, always listening to them, the two legends in the finance world, talks about their investment philosophy. And so it was 2022. Warren Buffett always had to tell everyone, do what you love, then you will never work a day in your life. I was sitting in the meeting and asking myself, how can I do what I love? Then I will never work a day in my life. As an artist, I just keep drilled down on the same question for myself. By end of the meeting, I figured it out. I said, ah, I think I may know how to do what I love, then never work a day in my life. Um, I want to sculpt. Like I want to sculpt them. So I started to learn how to create sculptures. And this is me in Taiwan studio and on my own. I only have a photo of my grandma. She passed away a long time ago. So I love her so much. And so I'm like, I want to create her. And yeah. And over here, some other photos from different angles. And before that, it's kind of hard to find the models. And sometimes I just use the spare time. I look into the mirror and I sculpt myself. And so this year I was in Berkshire Hathaway 2025 annual shareholder meeting. And yeah, the Wall Street Journal lady did an article about me. That's me. That's a photo on the front page. And here is, yeah. So I'm grateful for Buffett and Charlie Munger. Their philosophy has changed my life as well. Like I borrow their wisdom, their philosophy, then put them into action. And also, something else I learned from my life experience is it doesn't matter how introverted or how shy we are, or uncomfortable we feel to put ourselves into a certain situation. But if you want to get to somewhere with your life, even though it's uncomfortable, you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, your life may not turn around. All the struggle and suffering in the past is all meaningless. So only by taking actions, doing the difficult things, that your past experience will all become meaningful.
I see. So, what was your experience like in Omaha? And what was your goal by attending this event?
Um, so my goal to attend this event is to be educated in finance and life. It wasn't just like this is my business opportunity. That wasn't the initial intention at all. I went to there. I just want to study from them. And I have always loved to learn and love to study and love to improve myself in every aspect of life. And I took that as my non-formal education. So that's why I visit there um, consistently. Every year I will be there. Next year, even though Buffett is not going to be the CEO anymore, I'm still going to be there. This is a photo when Buffett announced that he's retiring from Berkshire Hathaway, and there's a new CEO, Greg. And then I also went to, besides Berkshire meeting, I also went to, I'm a shareholder of this company as well, Markel Group. I
Mm-hmm.
went to their shareholder meeting as well. And here is a photo of me with Greg, the new CEO. Actually, this photo was taken last year, 2024.
I see.
Bunch of people surround him, and I had to squeeze myself in. Everyone, like, this is my opportunity. I'm not gonna let it go. So just
Look at you,
shamelessly,
a businesswoman in your suit.
shame, shamelessly squeeze myself in and see his hand. That's the poster. That's a postcard I created for my bronze sculpture. He was be
Wow.
Yeah, actually he had the back side toward to me. Okay. But when I saw him, I was like, this is my opportunity. So I have to let him know. So I put the postcard right in front of his face. Then he turned around and looked at me. Uh, maybe not, that's not the best manner, but sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. Right?
What about this year? And I understand that you also took some bronze cast to the
Yeah, yeah,
event.
absolutely.
How did it go? And how on earth did you bring those bronze cast to the event?
Okay, I put them in suitcase. Okay, this time I drove. I have my three bronze sculptures with me and some small ones with me as well. And also I create this painting, these smaller paintings, and to bring some variety. And not just how I get to those, and the bronze sculptures. Originally, I thought about to set them up in the Hilton and Omaha Houghton. It's across the street from the convention center. I think that's like prime location. So I drove them to Houghton and then I took the sculpture out. No, that's still in the suitcase. I just roll my suitcase, one on each side, and with my paintings over my shoulder. That's how I got to walk to Houghton, get into lobby. I didn't even telling anyone. I opened my suitcase, I set it up my sculpture uh, in the lobby.
And they let you do that?
What?
And they let you do that? Just leave your sculpture there on display?
For sure they wouldn't if I tell them. So that's why I didn't tell them. So
I
let
love
me just put
that.
it, let me just put it up. Maybe they will like it. And then I walk up to the phone desk and talk to the staff. I talk to the manager. And then it turns out uh, one of the managers had to call the sales manager. Then she came down to the floor because the reason I had to do what I had to do is because I know most likely people will say no to me, especially when they don't see the product, don't see my work. It's going to be a definite no. And when I have the work displayed properly, they're more likely that, oh, actually looks better. They might change their mind, might have a chance. So that's why I chose to do it first, then tell. Um, yeah. So for sure, the answer was no. Just like most people, they have been telling me no. Every once in a while, I run into a yes, but that's just the nature of life. Like we have to get over of fear of rejection. It's part of any business and it's part of the game. It's a numbers game. So that's what I did. But then the Marriott over here, this is a photo, me with my work, sculptures behind me and the postcard and my painting in Marriott. Um, their general manager always told me that I'm welcome there. Yeah. So I after this told Houghton told me no, then I went back to Marriott. At least it's worth to try. You never know. Like, what if it's gonna be yes? One thing about me, I do not like to live with any regrets. I do not regret any action I have taken, and sometimes I wouldn't give myself any reasons or excuses to regret of anything or to not do certain things.
I see. So, this is the Marriott Hotel. It's also next to the convention center.
Marriott Hotel, it's not next to Convention Center. However, it's right across the street to Borshine, a
Oh,
jewelry store that's owned by Berkshire Hathaway. And that place used to be all sorts of activity was going on. Like Buffet would be inviting artists to paint him or something. They would have some ping pong competition. Buffet would be playing ping pong with some uh, world-class ping pong player from China. Yeah, so it's that location.
I see. So the hotel is, it sounds like it's right next to a location of the company where they will have a lot of activities.
Yes, and here's a, a painting I created.
And this is a small painting.
Yeah, yeah, small painting. I learned that from teacher
Right,
to
I
paint
know. That's
small, so
why I
that
want to point out that the size of the painting. That's why you can see all the brushwork.
yes, because I learned that from teacher that paint small, like so you wouldn't we wouldn't dive into all the tiny details and start drawing turtle hair. And right. And so this is 2024. I had my sculptures with me, and this year, 2025, so I had a painting with me there, and people were super interested with that paint, the small painting of Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. Like I held the painting, then taking a photo, then everybody was like, "Where did you get the painting?" Um, then I started to advertise myself. Okay, here's the website. Um, even even in the Hilton. So the first day they told me, no, I cannot display my work there, and they will only display their own work. They wouldn't display anybody else's work. Then the second day I went back to there again with my paintings. Except this time I was just sitting at the bar. I took my paintings out. I got rid of the covers to put over there, and then people start asking me questions. Then I start introduce myself to them. Like, hey, I'm an artist, and then they say, oh, then people are so interested. One guy had my painting up. Then some other people see from across the room. They say, "Well, I saw your painting from across the room. May I take a photo of it? Who created?" Um, yeah. So that's just, I guess, like a different way of advertising and my work. My experience with art is being an artist will not just have to be creative to create artwork, but sometimes we have to be even more creative in order to sell our work.
Right. So yeah, how did it go? Because that your bronze sculpture and also the painting generated a lot of interest. Did you get some orders out of your trip?
Yes, I absolutely. I had people order the full-size bronze bust, which that's really good. And and then I have many people order the small ones because it's a lot more affordable. So it made my trip really fruitful.
I
Yeah,
see. Okay. So
yeah.
um let's close the sharing.
Okay, that's good.
So that okay. Let's talk about the business side of being
Okay.
an artist. Because you told me that you've made some very strategic decisions, like hiring a social media manager and even working with a speech tutor. What led you to invest in those areas?
Like I mentioned earlier, before I quit my job to go into art school to become artist, basically I was a business person, and so from my perspective, I see art as a business as well. Uh, so if it's a business, so you have to run like business. Um, I I'm into art. I want to be a professional artist 100%, but being a starving artist, I'm totally against it. I had my fair share of starving when I was in China or early adulthood, but now not anymore. So everything is strategy. So I create work. I invest myself with the time and money trying to achieve higher skill to create work, but sometimes I have to have somebody to market my work because I know it doesn't matter how great our work is, but if nobody sees your work, it's kind of pointless. People wouldn't appreciate it. And I learned our work will only be appreciated in front of the right audience and the right place. So I have to, coordinate the business people, like marketing person or business consultant, and to make it work because our career is tough. Our business, I think, is one of the hardest careers. So we have to put even more effort into the business side.
I see. So, how do you think artists can create their own opportunities rather than waiting for galleries or institutions to discover them? Because I think your trip to Omaha, bringing paintings and your bronze sculptures, that's a very creative way of bringing your art to a very affluent audience, right?
Yeah, yeah. Artists must create their own path instead just waiting for galleries or some institution to find them, discover them. That kind of things happens, but it does not happen every day. Can a person win a lottery ticket, $1 million lottery tickets? Absolutely. Does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. So we have to put ourselves there, create opportunity for ourselves to be seen. That's a must because I know it feels like um the society or we've been feel like you're only accomplished artist when you're in the gallery. Part of it might seems to be right, but another part is you box yourself in there in that small environment, then you will lose out a lot of opportunities. And that wouldn't be good. You just close off your own chance. And so open yourself up and brainstorm, come up with something different that each one of us, we are all unique in our own way. We like different things. So maybe bridge your art to something else you are passionate about. Like this, you are going to find more audience, your people.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
see. Okay. So, you have come a long way, accomplished a lot. What does success mean to you as an artist now?
Okay. To me, to be a successful artist means the artist has a strong voice through his or her work, and people want to hear or listen to the message that's sending out. So that's my definition of being successful as an artist.
I see. So, what would you tell your younger self or other women and immigrants who may feel stuck or unsupported in their artistic dreams?
Never be afraid. Have the courage and believe in yourself because each one of us have so much power and potential to create a beautiful life, the exactly life you dream of it. So take the action and everything will all become true.
Great. So, what's next for you? Any new projects or goals on the horizon?
Actually, I'm working on a self-portrait. It's gonna be something different. I want to create this portrait so my audience will understand me, where I come from, my journey and my life brought me to where I am now.
I see. Well, that's all my questions. Well, thank you so much for your time and sharing your experience insights with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Truly appreciate you.
So